I'm recording this video after close of trade Tuesday 24th of January 2012. Just got a quick video out at the end of today. Closed up at 13.1150 on the E-mini, about 1.2 million contracts traded. It's one of those kind of slow grind up days, almost like a complex correction going up. Very few kind of trend moves to trade. I actually over-traded today with 7 trades, ended up with 1.5 points really. Not particularly good trading on my part, which is a shame, particularly after Monday, which is kind of a good day. You can see the pattern that we're kind of making. It's a little bit of a topping out type pattern. So Thursday we had high volume churn, which was relatively small range and relatively large volume, showing profit taking by the professionals. Then the professionals kind of kept it going into the close on Friday, and that allowed the amateurs to kind of be suckered in, and we had this little bit of a pop on Monday morning where the amateurs were thinking, oh, better buy equities, and so the professionals were kind of selling out to them. Ended up being kind of a long-legged type doji pattern, showing indecision at these highs, and then we kind of crack on down. It's almost like a little bit of an oops pattern, kind of opening below yesterday's low and then kind of closing up. But it's fairly weak, 1.2 million contracts traded, and as I say, just a slow grind up. I think what we're doing is forming some kind of pullback to end of trend sequence. You can see we're in an uptrend on the daily chart, but I've said, we need the 135-minute chart to form a pullback to end of trend before this uptrend is over. And I think with this activity today, we kind of have found a little bit of a top. We'll come back, form a pullback, maybe in this kind of region around the 1280 type region, and then kind of a final push up to that end of trend signal there. And that might coincide quite nicely with some cyclical turns. I'm showing you the Euro chart here. We're a couple of days away from cyclical resistance kind of coming in here. Kind of bottomed. All these blue professional bars kind of came in at the lows here with a flush signal on better momentum, just flushing out the last of those sellers at that point. But we've kind of rushed away pretty hard with exhaustion buying here, so we'll come into resistance and maybe kind of test back down. So that kind of sequence over the next couple of days, forming a pullback to end of trend on the E-mini on the 135-minute chart, might coincide with that kind of resistance point kind of coming in on the Euro here. You can see on the 40,500 tip bar chart how we had all these exhaustion buying signals and bearish divergence signals after that, and then finally this was the activity on Monday with a flush pattern here, flushing out the last of those buyers. Poor old kind of amateurs getting suckered into buying on Monday morning, and then first blue professional down bar as we kind of get going down, and you can see that kind of area. The high of that bar was around 1250. That's an important kind of area where we've come in and sold it towards the close on Monday, and then we've come back up into that region today on Tuesday. So I think it's a point of weakness, and whenever this resistance kind of area kind of comes in on the 40,500, it'll kind of lead to a move down. When we go down to the 13,500 tip bar chart, this was the sequence over. This is Tuesday, Monday, Friday and Thursday. So this is why I was reading some strength into Thursday, Friday, where I think the professionals are going to use that pullback to end of trend sequence just to paint the tape a little bit, basically, for the market to be to show strength coming into the close on Friday. And they're taking profits at these highs here, and we've had a high average trade size. And then this is on Monday's activity, kind of a little bit of a pop right in the morning as those kind of amateurs kind of come in and buying, and the professionals are using that activity to sell to them. And then we kind of sell short. So today's activity coming into the close, interesting kind of Rambo pattern here that's just kind of come in fairly weak, buying going on. I think this will kind of roll over tomorrow. In terms of, I'm the best trade of the day actually. I missed out, which is a real pity. 1500 tip bar chart. I was in and then I got out. What was I in at? 875. So this kind of sequence, we had a flush signal here from which we kind of bounced into the close, and then I was kind of buying this pullback. So an amateur down bar, blue professional bars kind of step in, and then we kind of race away, and then I just lost confidence in it. We come back in, another flush pattern, professionals come back in, and there it goes to the end of the day. It wasn't a decent 4-point move, but after this kind of flush setup, it was the only trend move on the 1500 tip bar chart that we basically had all day. It was interesting, all these, I think on the 500 tip bar chart, on the 500 tip bar chart you can see all these pullbacks open of the day, I've taken everything off basically except Better Pro-Am, just showing these Rambo patterns, the lows of the day. Each time the amateurs were trying to sell short, all of these kind of spike lows, and we just kept it going from there, whether it's kind of being manipulated up by the professionals or not, but it's like the amateurs were definitely trying to get short today. So there we go. You might notice on my charts that my colouring and some of the indicators are starting to kind of, well, hopefully come together in terms of I've finally made the changes I wanted to make to the indicators yesterday, finished those up, kind of coding those up. So for me the colourings are kind of more logical now. The price-based type of support, resistance and divergence patterns are all being painted with red and white, and then the trade size and the professional and the amateur activity are all being painted in blue and yellow. So you can see, the Better Pro-Am Rambo patterns for me now, I'm going to be putting those in yellow text because they kind of coincide with the amateur bars. And then flush signals are very similar to kind of amateurs being wrong-footed at these kind of points, so that's why I'm painting them yellow. And I'm also painting now on the Better Momentum indicator the first divergence pattern on Better Momentum after an exhaustion selling signal, because for me those have become very important. So those are kind of being translated onto the price bars themselves. So actually going to get these version of the indicators out over the next couple of days to the TradeStation users. Just a small point on Better Sine Wave. I've now been able to get the Euric moving average kind of coded out at the version of Better Sine Wave. There used to be two versions of Better Sine Wave, now there'll just be one. It'll mean you don't have to buy the Euric moving average or upgrade to use the latest version of the Euric moving average. I've come up with a pretty fast, it's not a bad actually alternative for the Euric moving average. It's not quite as fast, but it's a lot faster than the default version of Better Sine Wave, so I'm quite happy with that. So that'll be kind of an improvement. It'll be one less thing you'll need to worry about with a Better sine wave indicator. Plus the other thing is, since these are being really offered as a group now, the upgrades will be going to everybody who has all three indicators. So I'll start with the TradeStation versions and then roll it out, get my NinjaTrader coder to work on the NinjaTrader versions before rolling those out as well. So hopefully that'll kind of make things a little bit simpler. So anyway, that's all I've got to say for today. I hope you had a good day's trading.